Today is June 30th, 2025. I'm here on the Klamath River where Camp Creek comes in. There's a lot of activity up here. You can see that there's a tank truck down there next to the Klamath River. Looks like they're getting water out of the Klamath. And this would be Camp Creek. I'm going to go slow. You can see that they're doing a lot of work. You can see where they've crossed Camp Creek right here. Looks like they're kind of doing some sort of work on this side too. Looks like they're grading some of that clay-like material down there that's been cracking. So you can see where they've been doing some work up here. So I'm going to pause it and go around the tree.
Filling those dump trucks.
So there's a lot of activity going on up here. You can see there's one loaded dump truck coming out right next to Camp Creek. Camp Creek's right there below it. And it looks like there's another one right there that's loading. I don't know if I can get it from here. So they're loading the dump trucks right there, not very far from Camp Creek. Lots of activity. This is kind of what this whole area is looking like. It looks like the water truck is filled. That's what the pump was for that I saw up here previously, is to pump water out of the Klamath River. So he must be up here to kind of calm down the dust. I'm not sure yet where they're taking the materials to. As it looks like there's another one that's loaded down there. They're grading all of this. Just kind of curious to see if he happens to dump it there. Maybe that's what they're doing, is they're taking it from the bottom and they're taking it further up on the side and they're dumping it and then they're grading it. So it looks like that's what they're doing. We got a little tent popped up over there. I don't know if you guys can see that. So we will go ahead and I'll pause it and we'll head on up. So I'm still here at the site. You can see off in the distance there's a couple trucks coming out. A belly dump and an end dump. So they must be coming from further upstream, maybe Jenny Creek or maybe Copco. Looks like there's quite a few trucks coming out right now. And all you guys can see that down here in the bottom we still have all the dead juniper trees that they brought in probably a month and a half ago. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and we're going to head on up the road. So I drove down just a little bit just to kind of show you what's going on. Looks like they're digging right next to Camp Creek. I'm not sure if they're making it wider or what their plan is. But I'm going to head on down the road. So I came up around the bend and you can kind of see what they're doing down here in Camp Creek. Lots and lots of activity. I'm going to pause it for a second and go around the tree so I can see further downstream. And you can see that there wasn't a lot of water trickling down in Camp Creek. That would be looking down the Klamath River. You can kind of see Camp Creek right there in the bottom. Zoom past the tree. Looks like the water truck is out hosing things off to help with the dust. Definitely busy up here today. Now we know what they're doing. I'm kind of curious. You can kind of see that there's some moisture down there in the bottom. Like I did say, we had a really wet winter this year. So Camp Creek still is running, but normally this time of year it would be a trickle. Oh, looks like we got a cement truck coming from somewhere, so maybe we'll see where the cement trucks are coming from. Alright, I'm gonna pause it and head on down the road. So we are getting towards the top of Camp Creek and Scotch Creek. Things look pretty green up here with whatever this grass bush, whatever it is that they planted. I'm not sure what it is. You can see that Camp Creek still is running, but like I said, we had a pretty wet winter. And that's what it's looking like right here. I don't know if you guys can really see the cracks right there in the soil or not. It's hard for me to tell looking in. And it would be downstream is where all the activity is going, more towards the Klamath River. Down in that region. And then the water truck, I think he just kind of comes up here to make sure that the dust is settled. But you can see all the juniper trees are still here. And I can see that they brought in a new big pile of wood debris. That pile that's right there, that wasn't here the last time that I was here. So I'm wondering if that's what's being brought from COS, from the college. I do know that they're supposed to be putting apartments in down there, and so they were gonna bring those trees and wood debris that's from down there up here to utilize on the project. So I'm gonna pause it and head on around. So I've made my way to the other side of Camp Creek, just so you guys can kind of see what it looks like from this side. So it looks like the dump trucks are going on both sides of Camp Creek, because you can see where he's just dumped some sediment up there. So they're crossing the creek somewhere down in there. We saw where they were crossing. But this is kind of what's going on today up Camp Creek. Very busy, very active. Moving a lot of dirt around. Got the water truck. So anyways, this is it for today. Just as a side note, we're supposed to get thunderstorms this afternoon. It's supposed to hit pretty hard in this area. We're told that we're supposed to get rain with it. There's some fire watch warnings too. It's supposed to be in through tonight and tomorrow, which is Tuesday, so we'll kind of see what happens. If it rains up here, I'm not sure how well these guys are going to get around, but we'll just have to wait and see what the weather's going to do. You can see that all the vegetation is pretty much dead and died off. Everything's kind of brown and dead and dying, with the exception of some of these greener materials or bushes. I don't know what they're called that they planted. So anyways, this is what it's looking up Camp Creek. I'm off to my next stop.